And we're back. Sorry about that. That played an extra song there. Oh, wait, do I play extra songs? At any rate, back live. Again, we're going to be discussing behavioral health and behavioral health procedures. So if there's anything uncomfortable you feel not wanting to discuss or hear, please understand that you can just listen later or wait until after our interview is complete. So right quick, I got somebody that I've been talking to in the inbox. We've been talking about, and I brought this up before. There are several cases that have happened within our MilMed system. Specifically right now, we're focusing on the Womack Army Medical Center. And there's other stories that are out there that we're working with. But this is a story that we've kind of finally been able to get to a point to where we can discuss this. And so right now, I just want you to introduce my guest. And Billy, welcome to WTF Nation Radio, man.
Appreciate it being here, man. Very excited.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, dude, I know me and you've been talking for what, a few weeks now. What's your case? So tell us your name and tell us about yourself.
All right. My name is William R. Shoker. I go by Billy. So I served in the Army from 2017 to 2024. I started in the 82nd and I was in the 101st for a period of time. Believe it or not, during that controversy that's been exposed on the internet. Don't want to get into that, but I left that place and thank God I did. Went back to Fort Bragg for a short time where I exited my service back in May.
Now, what did you do in the Army? What was your MOS?
I was an 11 Bravo, first as a paratrooper, and then went over the leg land in the 101st, got my air assault badge, and did my time there, and then I got my 5. Well, I got my 5 in the 82nd the first time, and I went over there, and I came back as an E5 because I missed the airborne lifestyle. I said it sucked. My knees, but you don't know what quality soldiers are until you're in a unit like the 82nd.
You ain't lying, dude. No, or anybody supporting. I always tell people the same way that if the Army were to have DRB and GRF status, I think the Army would be better if we did it like that. Because and I graduated from the 82nd Jumpmaster course and supported the GRF and DRB, and I tell you what, it's a whole new realm, man. I hear you. So at this point in your service, when did you feel that you were starting to have I don't want to say problems, but when you felt like you needed to talk to somebody to discuss what you were going through?
So it started when I was at the end of my time at Fort Campbell. So I was going through personal problems, and then the controversy going on at Fort Campbell with Sergeant Major Knapp and McGee and their bullshit, and it was just draining on everybody. And I started going to behavioral health there, and then some bad shit happened at Fort Campbell. I don't want to go too much. I'll gladly come on and talk about this situation, but we don't think we have enough time for this. I got an article.
You got 45 minutes, brother. So you can talk.
Okay. So long story short, Fort Campbell is 100% officer ran, which is not the Army I grew up in. Everything about the 101st was let's get a good OER. Suicides were happening left and right, and they're like, hey, look at these Eagle Guardians. They started this thing with dudes with Guardian patch saying, hey, we care, but in the long term, no, nobody fucking cared. I was in Strike Brigade and suicides were through the roof. So along with my personal problems, I saw around me the shitstorm that was the 101st at that time. And that was McGee and Knapp's fucking unit. And I was just losing myself, man. Like the Army I once knew seemed to be fucking crumbling in front of me. Like, and the NCO Corps I took hard pride in was fucking dead at Fort Campbell.
Right.
Because the officer corps took the balls away from the NCO corps there. And I started going to behavioral health there then. Some bad shit happened. I had this soldier. I actually made a YouTube video on this, but long story short, we got an altercation. Kid pushed me. I pushed him away from me, said, don't touch me. He punches me in the face. I reported to leadership. They do an investigation, which they started 3 weeks after the incident, by demand of the battalion commander, and the IO was rushing to get it done, and they found me and him guilty, so I got an article. Luckily, everyone knew that article was bullshit. I was so fucking mad, and then my mental health got worse because of that.
What did
my first?
But you were trying to keep your cool. Is that what you're? I mean, you were trying to keep your cool by doing the right thing by reporting it. So,
yeah.
Did the did at all? Did you have any senior NCO leadership, like your first sergeant or your CSM, step in and say, "Hey,
I
look,
was going to
man,
get to that.
go ahead."
Yeah, I was going to get to that. My first sergeant at my first reading, so he stuck up for me for pushing a soldier. My BC wanted to take my rank, take my orders back to Fort Bragg because I was supposed to PCS back to Fort Bragg, and give me 45 days extra duty with 2 months app. You know, the whole shebang. My first sergeant said absolutely not. He does not deserve this. So at a field grade, I got 10 days extra duty and I kept my stripes. They gave me a suspended demotion and then they took my 60 days of leave. They dragged it on through my leave, so like I ended up getting 12 days of leave. So I went back to Fort Bragg, pretty fucking salty, pretty mad over that whole situation.
I bet. I bet.
I guess I could have been more grateful, but like fuck, man, like cool, punish me, but for pushing a guy, you're gonna try to like So I lost my leave, and when I got to Fort Bragg, we immediately were on an intensive training cycle. So my mental health was just going to shit, and I decided, all right, uh, I'm gonna tell you this here. So I got to Fort Bragg with that mindset. I was in a bad attitude, and I should have just let that shit go. I'll be honest with you, but at the same time, like we went to the field and we had this new CO who actually was controversial from the moment I got here. So her name was Captain Taylor England. And those in the 82nd know her by name because she was on Fancy Fancy Bear,
Oh,
which is also a me page like yourself. Yeah, I
yeah.
told you about Fancy
You
Fancy
told
Bear
me. Yeah.
back then.
Yeah. Exactly.
So here's what was going on. There was a lot of allegations, and I hate to bring up allegations that I don't have clear evidence on,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I mean, but
when everyone's
go ahead.
hmm?
Oh, so
when everyone
it's not really the allegations as you're. It's more so the culture and the climate of the organization.
yeah.
So go ahead.
So a lot of people were saying stuff like she was a platoon leader in Italy in the 173rd, and how she was like letting her platoon sleep with her and shit. And I'm like, all right. My first thought was when you're a female in the infantry, there's usually one or two of you. So the dudes always talk shit. So
Of course.
I was listening to it and I'm like, is this true or not? But then I started hearing more and more stuff.
Was
And
this
then
was this was this just platoon bullshit rumors? Platoon fucking.
this was battalion.
This was battalion rumors. These throughout the fucking battalion.
Like, like soldiers throughout the entire battalion. Because
Time
other
where,
than
where
bears. So
yeah. So did they at all? Did anybody like fucking say anything or like the because you know how some rumors are it's gonna get slipped to the fucking CSM or it gets slipped to the
right.
fucking did
So
anybody
from
have it back?
what I understood from her time in Italy, she was already under investigation for that bullshit. So that's just what people were talking. And I wanted to, kind of be like, all right, I heard about this. And then my first sergeant as well. I met this dude, and the first thing I walk in, to parade rest, and this dude looked at the ground when he talked to me, and I'm like, all right, it's weird. Asked me if I want to be an armor. I'm like, no, I want to be a team leader. I halted my own progression to E6 because I wanted to go back
Right.
and be a team leader in a quality unit. I wanted to be with the boys in a unit that I loved, which was the 82nd.
Right.
And immediately, just some cute things about that unit. I was in BCO 1504, which, by the way, excellent battalion. Whatever I'm about to say, I ain't shitting on that battalion or even BCO. Like, solid fucking battalion. Red Devils is like the first battalion picked for anything related to the 82nd. Everyone knows they're. I tried to get to Red Devils first thing when I got there, and
Mm-hmm.
Sergeant Major De La Pena helped me. So we're going to the field, and I'm having fun. So they made me a designated marksman and an assistant gunner to Carl Gustav. So I was having fun as a leadership position on weapon squad. But then some bad shit happened. Dudes thought I was heat catting in the field because I ran to an objective and I was throwing up. And they said I was heat catting. I'm like, I'm not heat cat. And furthermore, I went to the medics and they said, you are not heat catting, you're fine. But my platoon sergeant and my first sergeant were like, you're heat catting, so we're going to make you a permanent ammo guard and put you at the ACP until we can get a set of OCPs out there. Because it was winter, so I just packed my winter stuff. But it got warm somehow. January in Bragg is
Now you
always
were
like 30.
this. Yeah, I know. January in Bragg is always fucking weird. You would expect that place not to be so fucking cold, and it can get cold. Um, did did now was it because was there anything you weren't doing like drinking too many fucking? I know kids that drink too much energy drinks without drinking fucking water or whatever. It was just you fucking being smoking yourself. Let's put it that way.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty
No.
much.
After that, I did have energy drinks, but we had gone back and I had gotten that shit, to have something in the field. But before the live fire, I had none of that. I literally just drank water
Right.
because I wasn't even that stupid. Because I pound energy drinks on the daily, even now. But then, no, I didn't want to risk that. I wanted to be effective member of my team
Of course.
and my
Of
weapon
course.
squad that I was part of.
Of course.
So, as a punishment, they put me on this ammo garden. I'm cycling through soldiers. So here's where I fucked up. Before we get into, I did some dumb shit, and I'll tell you what I deserve. So one soldier, I was asking about our commander because I guess I was just steaming. I guess in that moment when I was on that guard being punished, I thought back to Campbell when those dudes fucked me, and I was just being, I was being a sour puss, I was being a crybaby. I was just like, fuck this shit, this is stupid. And I was asking about my CO. Then this one kid, and this kid lied to me. I should have picked up that he lied. With everything I heard about my CO coming there, I believed it, which was stupid. I mean, I should have remained biased as an NCO, and this is where I failed as an NCO. He said that his brother committed suicide, and he wanted to go to the funeral, and she denied him a pass. And I should have picked up that that didn't sound right. No commander would not let you go to the funeral. Here's the details. That didn't actually happen. That happened a year ago. He said it happened in January 2024 when we were out there. So things were getting wild. I was, dealing with my personal issues too, and I said some concerning things. But one thing that happened is they pulled me out of the field because after hearing that, I was like, "What? She did what?
Right. Right.
Fuck!" I said, "Fuck that bitch.
Right.
That dumb bitch doesn't give a fuck about us." Because, like I told you at Campbell, we literally had so many suicides in Strike Brigade, and they're like, "Go to your Eagle Guardian. We care." No, you don't fucking care.
Right.
You guys just want to go to OER. And you know, I was letting my this control me when I should have let it go. And they pulled me out of the field. First sergeant pulled me out of the field, and I went back because someone said I'd kill myself, which I did not. I can confirm that. I remember I was talking about the situation that happened at Campbell, and I was like, "Hey guys, if you're suicidal and no one in this unit supports you, I fucking support you." And I guess someone misconstrued that into saying that I wanted to kill myself somehow. Because another E5 came to me, he's like, "Hey Shoker, come here." I'm like, "Yeah, what's up, man? Are you all right, man?" One of my guys said you want to kill yourself. I went, "What?" I'm like, "Wait a minute, when the fuck did I say that?" So people started playing the telephone game. Next thing I know, these rumors circulated into me saying that I wanted to kill my commander. And I was like, "What?"
Jesus.
They brought me back. Yes, they brought me back from the field. And first sergeant's like, "So why you talking shit about the commander?" I went, first I'm like, "Okay, someone reported me for calling her a bitch." In that moment, I'm like, "Well, Article 15, time to take this dick." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I that's my fault. I will not look down on those soldiers. I have my own opinion on those soldiers.
Right. Right.
Should they have reported me? Maybe not, because I've heard people talk shit before. But at the same time, look at the Army and how it's run. I, a non-commissioned officer, disrespected an officer, and that's wrong. And they had every right to report me, and that's my fault for not having integrity. I will never look down on anyone for that. But
But it was misconstrued, though. That's not what happened, right? That was not. You didn't say
no,
you
I
want.
did call her a dumb
No,
bitch,
no,
but I
but you
did
didn't.
not threaten to kill her.
There you go. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I. Yeah. Okay.
First sergeant's in my face, like, "Why are you threatening to kill the CEO?" I'm like, "First sergeant." And then I admitted, I'm like, "Okay, look, I was talking shit about her. I did not threaten the CO." So, they sent me to Walmack, and this is where shit got really weird with behavioral health at Walmack.
Yeah. So at
So
this
my
point, now I just want to real. Was this a self admittance to Womack Behavior Health, or was this a command referred?
commander, first sergeant went back. We went to Beco's Cough. They both did that form thing for a psychiatric evaluation for homicide and suicide ideation. But I wasn't completely sure it was homicide. I know now it was for homicide and suicide ideation. I just thought it was suicide.
Right.
Because first my PO was talking to me like, "Hey, we got to send you back for this reason." And then it turned into that whole thing I just told you about.
Right. Right. Right.
So, all right, we go to Womack and I meet this lady, right? I forgot her name, but she works in Robinson Health Clinic. And she starts talking to me and she's like, "Did you threaten Taylor?" And I'm like, "Who the fuck is Taylor?" And she's like, "Oh, that's your commander, Captain England, but I know her as Taylor." And I'm like, that kind of, I don't know how things work here. You're a retired sergeant major, but that's a little weird to
That's a
me.
little sounds like almost like a conflict of interest when you're doing referring somebody by
Exactly.
name. But go ahead.
So she starts asking me, and then she confirmed with me. So she didn't violate any HIPAA rights, but she said, I know what you're talking about. No, this person's brother did not kill himself this month. This happened a year ago. And I went, fuck. And I'm a fucking retard, like I said. And I realized my mistake. That's what got me so steamed up
Right, right.
from dealing with that. And I was like, oh. But then she's like, by the way, she kept pressing me, saying, are you sure you didn't threaten to kill Taylor? I'm like, I did not threaten to kill her. I just disrespect her. And then she's just like, she just stares at me like this. Okay, so she goes out, comes back. Okay, honey, you're free to go. By the way, she's commander wanted me to tell you that you did threaten her and that she's pissed and that she has sworn statements. I went, okay. And I'm like, okay. And then she says something else. I'm like, okay.
Wait. So she's now interviewing you almost as if she's taking information from you.
Yes.
To me, it sounds like she was, how do I say this? Using the capacity of a behavioral health facilitator to get information from you to help Taylor, to help your command, to help the command. Does that make sense? Is that how you felt?
At the time, yes. But remember, I'm a younger dude. I'm Gen Z, and you older dudes, you guys have a mix. There's greatness with the new army, and then there's victimization. And the last thing that I always wanted to make sure I'm not playing victim.
Yeah, what's up? Why did you got to go the old comment, bro? Why you got to call me old? Okay, I'm old, but yeah, still. But go ahead. I do get it. I do get that that there is yes. Right. I appreciate it.
I always wanted to make sure, because when I was a younger private, there were times that I was kind of a victim, and growing past that, I always question myself, like, no, you did this. And I look at the system, the 7 Army values, the NCO creed, like,
of course,
this is what's going on. They're fair and impartial, telling myself this over and over again. But it already seemed like they're targeting me, and I didn't want to. Oh, they're targeting me. Well, I mean, you called the commander a bitch, dude. Like, obviously, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
but
I've called my leaders assholes and dicks and bitches too. You know what I mean? So it's not uncommon for anybody not to call their leaders a name like that. Oh, they're being a prick, or she's being such a fucking bitch, or why you know what I mean? I get it. I mean. But did it feel like, because you had something going on at Campbell, that like it followed you, like it yes. Like somebody fucking said, hey, this guy was a problem child at Campbell, so you better watch out. So did you feel like you already had somebody watching you, or like a target on your back?
No.
Okay.
After I did that dumb shit, then people were reaching out, and then that kind of, like, my platoon sergeant, that sneaky little bitch, she was definitely making some phone calls.
I bet. I was about ready to say, so it was after the fact, and then everyone was diming you, saying, oh, look, this guy had some problems going back this. Yeah. At this point, did you feel like, fuck, dude, you're trying to connect me to something? At this point, it's no longer behavioral health facilitation. This is now, it's almost like an interrogation. Did you feel that way too?
Yes. Yeah. And it blew my mind, because behavioral health saved my life before. Like,
right.
When I thought I had nothing, I had behavioral health. It's American fucking taxpayers are paying their tax dollars to behavioral health therapists and officers, and their job is to fix soldiers. And these people are looking at me going, hey, fuck you, Shoker. You talk shit about Taylor, we're gonna fuck with you now. Like, what the fuck is that?
Mm-hmm. Only because,
but anyway,
yeah, but only because you were reacting on some bullshit that one of your buddies had said that was bullshit. And then you admitted that, yep, I shouldn't have believed the bullshit, and then they still wanted to keep pressing on. Is that what we're gathering so far?
Yeah, so here's what happened afterwards. So my weapons squad leader I had at the time, his name is Staff Sergeant Connor Erickson. This man is the golden child in today's Army. This dude was the best squad leader I have ever fucking had. He supported me 100%, and he remained fair and impartial. So I get out, and I go see my roommate. Now, my roommate in the barracks had just left BCO and gone to Seco. So some bullshit happened to him there too. He asked me not to mention him by name, but I told him about what happened, and he looked at me in the face and said, I'm going to tell you right now, dude, she's going to take this as far as it can possibly go. So there was a lot of other bullshit too. Like, we had some dudes on extra duty, because out of all the companies in 1504, BCO, like, England was chapter Article 15, and like the other NCOs and other companies were like, what the fuck's going on? All the dudes in staff duty doing extra duty, they're all from BCO. Like, what's going on here?
Right.
Look, at some point, like, if dude snorts blow, like, you gotta go. Unless we somehow convince the Army he's good, you gotta go. But like, she was just, it's almost like she had no backbone
Right,
to
right.
rehabilitate them or give the power to the NCO Corps to fix that. She was just, I'm in charge. I have power. Chapter, Article 15. And that's what she was fucking doing.
Now
So,
now mind you, this is the behavior health person, right?
oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, I don't want to get too far off topic. So I go back to behavioral health for
No,
my
but
assessment. I go,
okay, but the behavior health person,
yeah,
who's saying chapter Article 15? Oh, who's saying that?
my commander.
The commander was saying
What I'm
that.
saying.
Okay, go. Okay, so
She
go back.
wasn't literally saying that. She wasn't literally saying that. I was saying that this is what she was doing.
Right. Okay.
Like
Okay.
why is she slamming so many chapters in Article 15s
Right. Okay.
to a point where other people are like, "What's going on here?" Like
What?
we have a recruiting crisis.
Yeah, yeah. So
You know what I
you're
mean?
seeing, but you're seeing that condition of how way she was acting, more of a overreaction. Like, dude, there's a difference between the spirit of the law and the letter of the law, and everyone's asking what's going on. Okay, so let's go back to the session.
Right.
Which
So
one?
I go to for my first safety check. I get escorted by my squad leader, and I go in there and I sit down with this therapist. Her name is Miss McCaffrey. She works in Robinson. So I'm sitting down there, and she's like, "So what are you here for?" I'm like, "Ma'am, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on. Like, I guess I'm here for for suicide ideation, but ma'am, I'm not suicidal." Then she cuts me off, goes, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna put you on a profile." I'm like, "What?" Yeah, because you're passively suicidal. I'm like, "No, the fuck, I'm not."
Right.
She didn't even let me finish fucking talking. And then she's like, "Do you have
Yes.
firearms?" And I'm like,
Ugh.
"Go ahead."
No, I'm just gonna say it's somebody just said in the comments there. It's like straight trying to fuck you, dude. It's not even gaslighting. It's like straight trying to jump the gun, to fuck
Now
you over.
With Miss McCaffrey doing this, I didn't fully know why she jumped the gun on that.
Right.
I was told that Robinson was like they were pressing dudes. Like I guess in attempts to fix the suicide epidemic, they were like bearing down on people. Like you have to put this guy on a profile if he shows any signs of suicide. And what's gonna happen in the long term? People are just not gonna open up because what happens when you're on a profile and you go back to work? Hey guy, you're 11 Bravo. Hey guy can't hold a weapon.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. As I'm saying,
It's your fucking job.
yeah. I
Can't jump
mean,
out of a plane.
well,
You're a
not well.
paratrooper. It's your fucking job.
Yeah, I was
Go
about to
ahead.
say no. That's every paratrooper on Fort Liberty. If you're exiting an aircraft wearing combat equipment, doesn't matter if you're a fucking pack clerk or a fucking 11 Bravo. Everyone's fucking carrying that. Everyone's carrying a weapon. Period. And specifically, if your job specifically being an 11 Bravo, is to close with and then destroy the enemy, putting a fucking profile on you, um, that it's like an immediate profile. It to me, I think is a little short sighted without getting to know the deep. You know what I mean? Getting to know really what's going on with why you even showed up. So basically, that in itself creates its own behavioral health fucking situation. Like it started off with you somebody saying that you wanted to kill your commander, referring you to BH, having all the drama that you had before being followed because people called you up. It created another BH incident from the command, not by you, if that makes any sense. Like they're the one dreaming that shit up. It's not, somebody said it in there. It sounds like the force administers ASAP. It's like how ASAP, if they say, "Hey, do you how many times do you drink?" and you say, "Oh, I have a beer a week." You're an alcoholic.
Funny you bring that up. I'm going to get into that too.
Go for it. I'm sorry.
Oh,
This yeah. I was about to say they probably did. So let's go into that session there where she was immediately going to put you on a profile. What happened then?
so then she asked me, and I'm like, "I'm not suicidal." So then I started getting fucking scared. I sat like this. I'm like, she didn't even let me finish talking. She's like, "Do you own any firearms?" And I'm like, I refuse to answer that question. So at that time, I had four handguns, I had one shotgun, and I had three rifles, and I had them in a storage unit up post because I lived in the barracks. And when I was at Campbell, with what was going on there with my Article 15, I actually was admitted for putting a loaded gun on my head, and they took my guns away. And when I got them back, one of them was damaged. One of them was my $2,000 M1A, and I was mad about that. So my first thought is, you're not taking my guns again. And I'm not even suicidal this time. What the fuck's going on here? So I refused to answer the question. And Miss McCaffrey goes, "Why not?" And she screamed. And I'm like, look, I know in the Army, we got to be, don't be a pussy, stand up. But when you're in a therapy session, that's the time to be
Right.
touchy feely.
Right. Exactly. You're supposed to be touchy
So,
feely in a therapy session. You're supposed to be getting in touch with your feelings in a therapy session.
Yeah.
Um,
So then she's like, I'm like, I'm not giving my guns up. Look, I am not suicidal, but I'm not giving my guns up. But at this time, my commander kept pressing behavior health, telling them that I'm a threat. I have documentation of her just constantly in the little what is it, medical porter chat box saying that he's a threat over and over again. So they already were like, I'm a psycho. So she was like, okay, it's your right. I'm gonna go talk to your escort. And she gets up and leaves. And mom like, why is she talking to my escort?
right.
I don't know how normal that was, but why are you talk like
What the fuck
it's
she gonna say to
concerning
you?
to me?
I was about to say, what the fuck she gonna say to your escort? That she's supposed to be
Exactly.
privileged conversation between you and her. Why is she fucking talking to the escort? So, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good, Ramos. So anyway, things were getting bad, and then uh, you know, platoon sergeant sat down with me, and he's like, "All right, man, here's what you're getting counseled for: calling the commander a bitch and this other thing." I didn't mention this, so don't want to concern anyone.
Okay.
This is the other thing that happened that led to the telephone game of me supposedly threatening my commander. I had childhood trauma, and I joined the army not just because I loved it, because I wanted to escape that shit. And I'm sure you can, if not relate, understand. There's many people like that. I was dealing with a lot of home issues, and I blurted out, "I fucking hate my mom," and I said I'd shoot my mom, and I went, "Ooh, yes, yes, Ramos, I know." When I said that out loud, I was like, "Holy shit!" I concerned myself, and I actually was like, "I gotta go help." So, understandably,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
people, you see how it circled
yeah,
around to
yeah.
that shit.
Well, here's my thing too, bro. It's like it's almost like how do I? It's like you get and exactly that pips in the. You really you can't be too honest. I mean, it's almost like if you're too fucking honest, then it's going to be used against you. I have said, and I've said this before, and I even said it on other podcasts. I have said things like, "God damn, this makes me want to drive into a lake. This shit fucking pisses me off. I want to run into oncoming traffic. This fucking, I want to hit a fucking wall. You're driving me up the wall. I'm going to fucking just throw myself off a cliff." I mean, sometimes just those things right now, if I was still in, people would be like, "Oh my God, Ramos wants to kill himself. He wants to go ahead and fucking jump off a cliff. He's going to go, he's going to jump out of the airplane with no parachute." And people are going to freak the fuck out just because an emotional outburst because you're so fucking frustrated at how, I mean, the way I see it right now is that they were pushing and cornering you to fucking break. And that's just from what I saw. So, I
Yeah.
mean, just knowing, just like I said, in talking
Remember, the comment of "I'll shoot my mother" or whatever happened in the field
to you, right.
when I got in trouble. So I said in front of a Joe who didn't know me at all,
Right.
and understandably, I just said this in front of a Joe. I just said this, period. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like,
Right, right.
all right,
It's okay.
gotta.
I always say, hey, fuck me running doesn't literally mean I want somebody to just fuck me while I'm running type shit. I get it. So it's
So
all
I
good.
was trying to.
Yeah, I get it.
I needed help. It was obvious. Just from that alone, you could tell Ramos I needed fucking help.
It's Ramos. You say Ramos. It's okay.
Ramos, my bad.
Rambo
I'm
Ramos.
sorry.
I know.
I'm a white boy. I'm sorry. I'm a white boy.
I know our mutual friend knows me pretty well. So I'm surprised he didn't give you that brief. But
I think he did, but he talks a lot.
So at that point, then, okay, you got a fucking profile. Your fucking escort is being told what? What is your escort being told?
So this is the same squad leader, Staff Sergeant Connor Erickson. That dude's just, from what I understood, he was just like, I guess he just having a bad time, disrespected the CEO. He didn't. He above all people had my back. So, but the fact that she was talking to him like, well, fucking why?
Yeah. Exactly.
If you why not have me present too?
Right.
Or explain to me why you want to do it. Not, hey, I'm gonna go talk to your escort, say some shit behind your back.
Yeah,
Well,
that's how I would feel.
Yeah.
I'd feel that way. I would feel that way if somebody was, "Hey, I want to talk to your escort." Well, what, you gonna talk shit about me or what?
So she comes back after talking to him and goes, "Well, it's your right. We ended that session and we left. And I went off post. Forgot what I did. I think I was going to General Jackson's on fucking Yakin. And came back, and then I was at the PX, the Goal Airborne PX. And I got a text message from Erickson. He's like, "Hey, dude, don't go off post. What's going on?
Yeah, exactly.
You were just confined to post. You cannot leave post anymore." And I went, So then I began to put the pieces together. I thought at this time, I thought this was because they were concerned about me being suicidal. I look at the records. I showed you my records, which is why we're here today, of my commander talking with behavior health. And she's just like, oh, he's a threat. He's a threat. She said, we need to confine him to the post because I'm concerned for my safety. Like, like I'm going to go get one of my pistols or my AR and just go, like, no, that's not going to fucking happen.
And that was
What the
because
fuck?
that was because I don't think, yeah. And so you got back, you've been told you were confined to post. And what did your leadership say that? I mean, did nobody fucking sent you a text saying, hey, like, no
No, that
counseling?
was my squad leader texting me that
Know what
I'm
I'm saying?
confined to post.
But nobody counseled you before that. Like you had no idea that this was happening.
Nope.
Now,
That's Captain Taylor England for you. That's
did,
just what she does.
now in all this, did anybody fucking recommend any medication, any fucking smoking cessation, any type of any type of discussion of what any type of medication that they were gonna consider you putting? This was just straight bantering back and forth, basically.
So at work though, things were quiet. I got the counseling recommending me for the article, like I said, for the two incidences, calling the commander a bitch and saying that thing about my mom. Obviously, they threw the mom thing out like fucking cares to focus
Right.
on the commander. So first they were going to give me a company grade, but then I was so Red Devils is weird, and I don't know if it's all first for you, but at least Red Devils. There's company CQ. So inside your company
Ugh.
cough,
Yeah.
there's a CQ desk, and I was sitting there with a Joe, and I was so mad about way behavioral health treated me. I was like, hey, private so and so, you go to behavioral health? He's like, yeah, I go. I'm like, how are you doing at behavioral health? And I didn't realize maybe I was talking like loud. I was going through a lot, so maybe I was just so stressed out. I was pumped up and talking. I was like, I can't believe what behavioral health did. And I said, because of what they did, the command team had to do this to me. Like, not at the time. I thought that at the time that they maybe the fucking behavioral health was bearing down on them, saying
Yeah.
you have to confine them. That's what I thought at the time. Now we know that's not true.
Right.
He came down and he's like, I'm saying this stuff, and then all of a sudden, I get called in the office, and my platoon sergeant starts chewing me out, saying he's going to take my rank. Like, how are you talking shit about the commander in front of the CQ desk? And I'm like, what? So when I was saying what I just told you about, my commander went to her fucking office that's behind the CQ desk, and called my platoon sergeant who was in his office across the way to tell him that I'm talking shit about her, which I wasn't talking about her at all. Like this dumb bitch. So all right, here's what happened. I went to a behavioral health session, and I had moved switched therapists because Miss McCaffrey. I don't know if she was. I found out that they were bearing down on her. Maybe that's why she was reactive, and not her fault. I got a new therapist. Forgot his name. Really good dude. He's a former 11 Bravo himself, and so he understood me. That dude wouldn't just throw me on a suicide profile. Like if I said some off the wall shit, he would understand it, which was great. And I want to talk to this dude.
Right. Right.
So we're talking, and I told him about my platoon sergeant saying this. He's like, just go talk to him.
So at all did anybody fucking ask the CQ guy?
They did.
They did.
They determined that yes, I was not talking shit about the CO, and that she was just trying to So she was a compulsive liar from my perspective. She just lied all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
Whether she was trying to do whatever or what, that's all she wanted to do was just try to fuck me, and she was gonna do it any way possible. And sorry, that was my nephew.
Surprise, you're live.
But anyway, like fucking. So I actually went back to behavioral health for a walk-in before I moved with Miss McCaffrey. And I was like, "Excuse me, hey, I realized my mistake here. I was confined to post, and I think it's because I won't. Let me give you the keys to my storage unit so I can't access my guns." And they said, "Wait a minute, you were confined to post?" I did a walk-in. I asked for a walk-in, and they're like, "All right, that's not good for your mental health. You were stationed at Bragg. What's the one thing you tell your soldiers when they're having a bad day? You get the fuck away from Fort Bragg."
Yeah, especially on a 4-day weekend. Like 10th Mountain right now is working on a 4-day weekend. By the way, if anyone's asked me what post we were talking about, units that are working on a 4-day. Hey, 10th Mountain, you're one of them. We know. And no, they're not getting ready to go to the field. It's just for some bullshit. I know what it's like. Yeah, I do tell the soldiers, get the fuck out of here. Go hang out, go to the beach or something like that. So,
And you don't know what you have until you lose it. So I said, "All right, I'm gonna work with my command team here. I'm gonna give up my keys to let them know I'm not a threat to myself or anyone or whatever.
Right.
And the therapist said, "Hey, we called. It's too late. You were confined by the deputy chief." And I'm like, so I started. I caused a bit of a scene at behavioral health. I'm like, I started freaking out. I'm like, I do not want to see Miss McCaffrey ever again. I don't want to see her again. And again, I think she was being bared down on. But at the time, like, with what that first session we just talked about
Right.
happened, I'm
Right.
like freaking the fuck out. Like, this is.
But
I got
nobody's
some demons.
but nobody's telling you what's happening behind the scenes. That's what it sounds. It sounds like you're just finding out, not being sat down and says, "All right, Billy, here's what's going on. Here's what's happening. Here's what we have to do." It almost seems like no one was giving you the fucking steps.
From the moment this situation happened, they made their decision and they were trying to kick me out. That's just they just think that they're gratuitous, amazing leaders. Like if we don't like someone, we can remove them. Pretentious fat. I shouldn't say that
You're
word.
good. You're good. You're good.
Pretentious asshole.
Yeah, you're
Huh?
good. I see. Yeah. I understand. I understand. I understand.
So I can't say that word now.
No, you can't say it. It just people will freak out if you do say it because then it'll detract from. You can say assholes, pricks, bitches.
Okay, good.
Worthless mother.
Pretentious bitches. We'll
Yeah,
say
there
that.
you go.
That's
Worthless motherfuckers,
okay.
spineless asses, whatever you want to say. That's cool with that. But once you start, if you get in, it's going to be in the slur. I don't want Facebook to fucking because Facebook been really bitchy lately. So they've been pulling our posts down, and I hate it. So,
Oh, that sucks.
but so then at this point, how did you know you were going to get med boarded out, or they were going to board you out, or what were they going to do?
So with my behavioral health history, I didn't have enough for a med board or anything. Like to the Army standards, I was mentally competent. My CO though, so here's what happened. They decided they weren't sure if they were going to give me a company grade or a field grade. My first thought was I'm an E5 doing this dumb shit. It's got to be a field grade because that's the only
Right.
way to take stripes from an E5 is to go to a lieutenant colonel. So the decider that said I'm getting a field grade over a company grade was that incident at the CQ desk where I supposedly talked shit about the CO and didn't. And then part of the counseling, I had to go apologize to her. So I went to apologize to her and I gave her as much of a meaningful apology as possible. And this is her response. This is what Taylor says. Are you fucking kidding me? And my first thought went, oh God, this bitch is gonna ruin me. It's the first thing I thought in my head. I'm like, this is such a white bitch right here. God damn it.
So now she's feeling insulted that you have seemed to have had some sort of recovery and some sort of epiphany that you're feeling okay. You felt remorseful about what you did to her, and then all of a sudden she comes off with this fucking attitude.
And then she says, I do. And then she says this. I do more than any other company commander in this battalion.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, oh my God, this dumb bitch.
At the point when you're at the point where you're just saying fuck it. You know what I mean? You're just saying fuck it at this point. You're just like, fuck it. Anything you say, it's going to get fucking twisted back and forth. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm continue. Go ahead.
So then she goes, like Sergeant Anthony, my platoon sergeant, said he's always telling me that I need to stop and I'm doing too much. Like I was at the Soldier Support Center trying to help someone get a CNA, and I'm like, if you're a real leader, you're gonna do shit, not expecting award. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Like, so then I asked her, I'm like, so like, what's happening to me? She's like, you're getting a field grade. I'm like. And the reason is because when there's threats against an officer, it has to be a field grade. And then I said, ma'am, I didn't fucking threaten you. Well, there's sworn statements that say otherwise. And I'm like, so go to TDS, right? Sit down with TDS. And as you know, you have after you get the brief for your Article 15, it's like, hey, request to talk to an attorney. I said, I'm talking to an attorney. I said, hey, man, sat down with my attorney. Can you do me a favor? What? Could you go through that 15.6 and tell me if there's any sworn statements that say I threatened to harm my commander in any way?
Mm-hmm.
So she pops open. Every single page gets to the last one and goes, not one says you threatened her. Only said that I called her a bitch. That's it. Okay. You see here?
Yeah.
I'm pushing it up because you threatened me.
Right.
I did not threaten you. Here's the 15.6. So then this happened. Time passes. I'm waiting for my second reading. I didn't know if it was happening before or after JRTC. So my roommate, Uh, you know the rules when you live in the barracks. You take care of your roommate. I was an E5 and I had an E2 roommate. You know, fraternization, you don't want to be fraternized with people, but at the same time, if you're living with someone, like I'll sit down
Dude.
on his couch and play Xbox with them. It's
Yeah,
the
so
barracks, man.
it's your roommate that's an E2, but you're a sergeant, right?
Yeah,
Okay, you can't fucking help that, but okay, you're right.
exactly. But so this kid was in BCO and he moved, and here's why they moved him. So in my squad, we had this black dude, coolest kid ever. I love this dude. He's a great soldier. So you know, Sharp and EO is a big deal, but as you know, 11 Bravos, anyone in the comment on us is fucking vulgar and will cross every line imaginable.
Let's put it this way: it's as bad as an Xbox chat room. Different
Oh
races,
yeah, that's it.
you know, a white, black,
So
Latino, Asian. It's a fucking. Oh, I know. It's I know. Just don't say anything that'll get that on that portion that'll get the fucking page blocked. But go ahead.
but anyway, so this soldier who's black said that his favorite food ever is Popeye's chicken, and that's kind of funny because stereotypically, you know, black people like fried
I like
chicken.
I like fried chicken too. That's common as well. So
I like fried chicken too. So get this, they're running down our dens. My roommate, who's still in BCO at the time, the black dude's falling out of the run, and those two are cool. They're close friends, and he says this: "Come on, man, there's a Popeye's chicken up the road. You can make it." And everyone laughed because one, it's fried chicken, and you know he's black. But get this, he didn't say fried chicken. He just said Popeye's chicken. And he
yeah,
said this is my favorite food. So there's a whole lot of shit making that statement funny. It's
right.
racist without being racist.
Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, everyone remembered me when I was a first sergeant that I loved chicken, and my soldiers even said, you know, that I was I was black because I was even told by one of my NCOs that I eat more chicken than black people, and I thought it was fucking hilarious. But I said, don't say that out loud. Well, too late now. But hey, what's up, Rodney? He used to say that a lot. He's like, damn, first sergeant, do you ever not eat chicken? But yeah, but I get it. I mean, again, like you said, there's that morale, and of course, civilians not understanding and individuals not understanding the way Fort Liberty is. I'm gonna tell you what, Marines say the same fucking shit. Air Force, well, I don't say about Air Force. Marines say the same shit. Fucking most I guess most organizations that deal with, I don't know, weapons, guns, firing, you know, going to the field, you have
I
that.
was told I was told as a private, if you're offended, you're the problem. Don't get offended. Like
Right,
roll with that my whole
like you said.
career.
Well, like you said, if it's blatant racism, then yes, it's a. But fucking comments, because that I've been told in environments, hey, you know, fucking you're Mexican. Oh, wait, are you half Mexican or full Mexican? Hey, so you don't like? Do you like hamburgers or do you like tacos? Make up your mind. Which side are you? You know, I get it too. So, but I didn't get fucking butthurt about it. You know, I didn't get fucking. You
Yeah.
know, and I would say, "See, senor," you know, fucking, you know, I don't ever get the ass. And then the Marine, exactly. Somebody said the Marines. There's a fucking crayon joke for Marines and intellect. Everyone says,
I
"Oh,
made a I made a video on TikTok and YouTube of me supporting the Marine Corps by eating crayons with Tabasco sauce, and I ended it with, "Why do these guys like crayons so much? Are they retarded?"
oh yeah." See, that's the thing too. That term, you can't say gay, you can't say retarded anymore without it now. Because back in the day, if you said gay, it was like stupid. It meant like it didn't mean like gay. It wasn't like talking about
You're
a.
right about gay, but retarded
But
is still
retarded,
being thrown around. It's
but
still being thrown around.
retard.
Believe
No,
me.
but I'm saying though, but when someone says retarded, it's like someone who's not fully there. Which are you? What are you, retarded or something? I mean, even people back in the day that say it are now getting fucking going by. See, everyone's posting comments right now that's getting flagged for community standards. It's hilarious. So
These are the people I want to watch this video though, so I commend them.
okay, so you're getting your reading. Now, at any time while you're getting your reading, what did your battalion commander say in all this? What was the
So here's what happened. So second reading happens. Come in. So first reading, Sergeant Major Frame gives me my first reading. And actually, hold on. Before, let me go back real quick to the roommate guy because this is a key point in all this. I'll just go over this real quick. Because he said that comment, they gave him an Article 15 for being a racist, but that's just because they wanted to fuck him and they were just trying to get him. They tried to get the black dude to file an EO complaint. He said, "No, dude, that shit was funny. I'm not EOing him."
yeah?
But then some bad shit happened, and he moved to Chaos Company next door, still staying in the same barracks. And they ostracized him. They ordered the platoon that he was part of not to talk to him, and there would be severe repercussions. which you can't do. That's against EO.
Right,
I'll
right.
get more into that in a second, but let's go back to the reading, like you
Yeah, go
said.
for it.
So
Yeah, go for it.
first reading happens. Commander just tells me you're getting a field grade because you threatened me. Sergeant Major goes, all right, Sergeant Choker, and I was like, man, I just met this dude, and this is all he knows of me. This is fucking great.
Right.
Great impression for the sergeant major, but he reads my thing. He goes, "You're being charged with 1 count of saying fuck that bitch, and 8 counts of saying that dumb bitch doesn't give a fuck about us." I don't remember saying it 8 times.
I'm about to say, so they're going off the bitch count. Is that what they were doing? They were marking off the bitch count. I was like, what?
I don't remember saying that statement 8 times, but maybe they got some statements that said, "I heard Sergeant Choker say this," and they just counted them all as me saying it eight
Oh
times.
my
But
god.
I guess that's what happened.
Ugh.
And I never talked to the IO either. The IO never sat down with me to get a sworn statement. But again, then again, I did agree to the counseling, so that's
Did
probably
you at least
why.
get your rights read? Did you at least have to? They hey, your. Did anybody read your rights about it at all during the reading?
During the reading, I can't remember off the top of my head because typically I don't get Article 15s often when I was in active duty, but TDS usually does that. They brief you on your rights, so I already knew my rights, but I'm not sure. I don't want to comment on that because I don't want to put misinformation out there because I don't
All right,
fully
gotcha.
remember.
I got
But
you. Okay, okay, that's fine.
so I read. He goes, I'm like, Sergeant Major. He's like, what? You got any questions? I'm like, those are the charges, right? And he goes, yes. What could possibly be worse than that? And I'm thinking, uh, I didn't say it, but I'm like in my mind threatening to kill the CO. Then he put me in my place right then, and he's like, recite the NCO creed, and I went, no one is more
Oh
professional than I. He's like,
god.
yeah, what the fuck? And then I went, all right. I had a shitty attitude. I went, I don't deserve to lose my rank. And then I went,
Ugh.
all right, maybe I do. For personally calling her a bitch, no, she's a bitch and she always will be till she dies. I don't fucking care. But for disrespect of an officer, yes, that's the point here. We're gonna make it about the rank.
So
So it
then,
really is.
so then after that, you got your reading. They said, okay, now what? What was the punishment? What was the?
So no, that's my first reading. After I leave, so actually we'll go right into my second reading.
Go ahead.
So my second reading, um, second reading, Colonel reads it to me. He's like, all right, why'd you do it? And I was like, all right, be honest with you. I was dumb. I heard a rumor. It wasn't true. I had a bad attitude coming here from Fort Campbell, and I neglected my own mental health, and I allowed myself to just kind of fall apart, and I lost my composure. Basically saying like, I this is on me, man. I just fucked up. Sergeant Major kind of thought I was trying to use mental health to get out of the punishment, and no, that's not what I was doing. I was trying to say, hey, I fucked up. Because at that first reading, I remember what he said about the NCO creed, and I went, all right, better take this. Getting the best leader I ever had 3 field grade Article 15s. No big deal. I'll just earn them back. So, uh, after that reading, go to work the next day, and the punishment was demotion to E4, 45 days extra duty, 2 months of half pay. Get this, we were going to JRTC within the next week or so. There was about 13 dudes in BCO on extra duty who had just gotten Article 15s. Another dude came into his second reading with me as well.
All right.
All of them who got up to 45 days extra duty, there was going to be a continuous motion, meaning when they went to the box, their extra duty would be counted. So let's say they went to the box for 30 days and they came back, they only had 15 days of extra duty left. Except for me, Colonel Shin, Lieutenant Colonel Shin said, we're going to start your extra duty today, and then we're going to pause it, go to JRTC, and then resume it. I was the only motherfucker in BCO at that time that they did that to. I wonder why.
Yeah, yeah. So the date. I mean, but there was no punishment though. I didn't give any. I mean, I'm still kind of
45 days extra duty, demotion, and 2 months half pay. That was my punishment.
right, right. But what I'm saying though is that did you go fully through your punishment, and did they allow you to continue your behavioral health appointments?
Let's get into that.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
was still going to my weekly, I was still on profile for suicide. I was actually about to go on my last assessment to see if I was clear to get off the suicide profile. The day after my article, early morning, they said, "Hey, 09, all extra is going to show up. They're going to go to the ammo point or wherever the fuck that place is where they issue ammo at Fort Bragg."
Right.
So I went there and I'm like, "Wait a minute, hey Sergeant." I'm like, "Hey, what's up, dude?" I'm like, "Hey, I'm on a weapons profile. That means no ammo, right? Are we going to be handling live ammo?" He's like, "Yeah, you can't be around live ammo." So he said, "Hey, call your first sergeant." I'm like, "I don't have his number, but I got my platoon sergeant's number." So he called my platoon sergeant on my phone and didn't answer because my platoon sergeant is the greatest thing on earth next to Jesus because he served 3 years in Ranger Bat, got kicked out, and when he tried to go back in, got rejected because he got an Article 15 and just, thinks he's better than everybody. Not understanding that, hey, maybe there's a reason I'm calling him and he can answer. I've never seen that before. He's not using. I'm a platoon star. How dare he call me? Thing. So I'm like, "Hey, am I good?" He's like, "Yeah, dude, just go back to your unit. I'll tell my first sergeant. They'll tell your first sergeant." I was like, "Okay." So I'm walking back to Red Devil's Cough. I get a phone call from a staff sergeant, and then he goes, "Why the fuck did you call the platoon sergeant?" I'm like, "Because I was told to." Yeah, because I was told to. By who? I'm not supposed to be in the ammo point. He's like, so we went back there like, okay, so this staff sergeant, I don't understand like how he didn't know this. He's like, "You're in a weapons profile. That means you just don't touch weapons. Does that make sense?" I'm like, "Yes, you understand a no weapons profile means no weapons and no munitions, right? So no grenades, no live ammo, no none of that. Because like if I'm suicidal and there's a fucking frag right there, all I gotta do is pull like knit. That's why they do
Right.
that. No
Right. Right.
live
Agreed.
munitions, no weapons.
Agreed. Agreed.
And if it's really far enough, no knives either." But anyway, so my platoon sergeant, who is a 13-year E7, somehow a senior NCO didn't know this either. He's like, "Do you have a copy of your profile?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, let's print it up." So then they had to talk to the medics, and the medics confirmed, no, I could not go handle live ammo. My platoon sergeant sat there quietly. I don't know if he was like, "Oh shit, he's right," or if he was just like, "All right." So I leave to go pack for JRTC, and I get a phone call, get back in the office. And then platoon sergeant goes, "Everybody get out." Platoon sergeant, how dare he? Now, mind you, what I'm about to tell you, this was the day after my Article 15. Goes to the door. He goes, "All right, you're being initiated for a Chapter 14C." And he gives me the counseling. And I'm like, "All right." Saw this coming. Because during that time, he was just counseling me. He was counseling me on bullshit, too.
Yeah, I was about to say. So they're
Manipulating,
building a
manipulating me into agreeing with a
right.
counseling.
They're building a
So,
packet on you is what they were doing.
yeah. He manipulated me into agreeing to signing a counseling that said that I had alcohol while in voluntary sub C, and that's a chapterable offense. When they told me to stop drinking, I stopped drinking. I had liquor and booze in my room, and they told me to throw it away. Did you? I'm sorry, motherfucker. Did you spend money on that, or did I? I wasn't gonna keep it though, so I was
Right.
trying to give it away. And my platoon sergeant, when I told him he was trying to give it away, he didn't say shit to me. Later, he started going to other people. Didn't talk to me about it. Goes to other people and goes, "This guy's a fucking alcoholic. That doesn't make any sense."
That's the ASAP comment that we were talking about, right? Yeah.
Mhm. So then they initiate the chapter on me. Now, mind you, we had 3 dudes in our platoon at this time that popped out for coke, and 2 of them were getting general discharges. So I said, "All right, whatever. You can get back in after getting chaptered out." And I had a good attorney at that time. Am I at least getting an honorable? And then he goes, "No, just from this misconduct these past 3 weeks." So the counseling is he was giving me for that he was just stacking on me from the field event. Shit he was making up himself. "You're getting another than honorable." And I went, I started laughing. And then I said in my mind, "You know what? I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking kill." And I didn't say this out loud. I'm gonna fucking kill myself. So then he gives me this post-it note. And I'm standing there smiling. I'm like, my PO goes, "Hey, Shoker, do you want to go to JRTC still?" And I'm like,
Fucking what?
I said, "Sir,
What?
sir, I'm not fucking thinking about that right
Yeah, I
now."
was about to say, you want to go to church? Talk about fucking not reading the room. Holy shit. Fuck.
Hey, don't, not going to insult him. That was one of the best platoon leaders I ever have. I love that man.
Do you
His
think?
last
Do you
name
think
is
it was?
Eisenhower.
Do you feel he felt awkward
Yes,
though?
his last.
Do you think did he feel like he felt awkward though in all that kind of like? Do you
Yes.
still want to go to see to George to see?
He also had my back too the entire time. I love that man. Lieutenant Eisenhower. And yes, he has a dad who's General Eisenhower out of Fort Hood.
Oh, so it's that
Hilarious.
Eisenhower. Gotcha. Okay.
Yes, his son was my PL.
Gotcha.
Both are excellent officers.
Gotcha. Okay.
And how can you not be an excellent officer with a last name like that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, spelled differently than the other Eisenhower. Yeah.
It's I with an I.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know
Exactly.
that.
So at this point,
So here's what
what?
happened.
So go ahead. Go ahead.
Here's what happened, right? I go, he gives me this post-it note and he's like, all right, I need you to get these done. My enlistment contract for the chapter. And I'm like, yes, Sergeant, I'm going to go to my barracks room and get my enlistment contract for you. So then I go to my locker, get my rucksack. Cause in my kit, I had my battle belt and I had a 7-inch K bar. I got in my truck and I drove back to the barracks. I took my ruck upstairs, went in my room, and I said, all right, it's time to kill myself. So then I took out my knife. See if you can see that
Yeah, I
there.
can see it. I can see it.
All right, so don't mean to be insensitive. I'm not making fun of suicide. I want to make the audience uncomfortable, but I got to tell the story
Go
how it
ahead.
is,
Yep.
right?
Yep. I've already told the audience that this is going to happen. Go ahead.
Cut down the street trying to, because you cut down the street for results. You cut across the street for attention. And I was like, fuck, fuck, fuck. And it wasn't working. I managed to, there's a whole line right here. I don't know if the camera can see it.
We can see it.
And, I was like, oh. Then I stopped and I went, maybe I should get help. And then I got mad. And then I was like, fucking Anthony, fucking England, fucking. So I said, fucking. I was like, all right. So then I took the knife this way and I put it here. And I went, and then just then my arm popped open. So I sliced through my tendon down to the bone. And then I dropped the knife. And then I went to pick it up with this hand to try to, finish the job. And I went, "Hmm." I completely cut off all motor function of my hand. It was literally, this is how it was. I could only move my forearm. That was it. And there was a gash about this wide. And immediately it was like a faucet turned on, just blood straight on, not squirting, just
Right.
a river of blood. And like I was standing there, and it even splashed on the ground. There was so much blood, and I'm standing there, and I'm like, then all of a sudden my heart started pounding, and then I felt like whenever I was on a jump, I was full of adrenaline, and then I went,
Right.
wait a minute,
You're
my
losing.
hand's not working.
Yeah, you're losing blood. Yeah.
I'm losing blood. I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to die. So I got my phone out and tried to call 911, and it failed because on that day AT&T's towers were down for maintenance. So then I ran out of my barracks room to get service, and I left my car keys inside my barracks room. I'm like, wait a minute. And I locked myself out of my room, and I'm like, oh shit, my IFAC's in there. Everything to save my life was in there. So then on the fourth floor of building 3019 on Fort Liberty, I stood there, and it was about 10 o'clock, 10:30, so everyone was still at work. I was the only one there. And I was getting dizzy. I stood there for a little bit, and I was like, oh shit, man, I'm losing a lot of blood. I started getting pale. But I knew if I went outside, 911 would eventually connect me to a cell tower, right?
Right.
And I called 911 and I got a hold of him, and I started getting dizzy. He's like, 911, what's your emergency? And I was like, hey, what's up, man? I just tried to kill myself. And this is what the operator says. You just tried to kill yourself, huh? I'm like, yeah. That's what I thought. How'd you do it, man? I'm like, I took a K bar to my arm and I'm fucking bleeding out. What's your location? I'm like, I'm in the 1st Brigade Barracks. At the time, I didn't know my building number.
Right.
And I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go downstairs and get the building number. So I'm pacing the barracks, bleeding all over the fucking barracks. And then I'm like, oh God, this is fucking terrible. And then they're like, I started going, I didn't realize this, but I was not losing consciousness and falling down, but I was like mentally going out. And then I started getting cold too. I was getting like I was shivering, and I was like, man, I really fucked myself. I'm bleeding out. Nobody's here. This guy on the phone's a fucking
I
asshole.
was about to say he's a prick.
So then all of a sudden, 4 dudes show up from my company. 4 dudes from Second Platoon BCO, and if these guys are watching this, I thank you guys every day for what you did for me. They walked past me, completely walked past me. So from what I understand, these guys just thought I was drunk on like a Tuesday or Wednesday afternoon in the barracks in uniform. And I was like, she asked him for help, and I went, oh, fuck. These guys are going to get freaked out. I wasn't thinking clearly. That was my mindset at the time. It's like, oh, I better go downstairs. And then the operator goes, I started going out like this. He goes, hey. I'm like, yeah. Is there somebody there? Yeah, there's like 5 guys here. And then he goes, ask them for fucking help. I went, okay. And then I turned and I'm like, oh shit. I see him. I'm like, hey, hey, hey. And as I turn around, those dudes actually saw the
I
blood.
was
They
about to
looked at the
say,
blood.
did they if they
They
saw it? Yeah.
stopped and were like, why is there blood? And as they're standing there, I'm like, hey, and they're like, they turn around, I'm like, hey, can you guys help me? It's like this.